What's up, YouTube? Today we're bringing back Classic Lockdown. Thought this would be a fun deck to play into the current meta. We get to play some cards that counter Thanos. We get to counter Last Turns by Silver Surfer. So without any further ado, let's get into the elevator pitch. So this is truly your Classic Lockdown. In this type of deck, we're going to try to be playing either Psylocke on turn 2 to get into our Storm Legion War Machine combo, or we're going to go Luna Snow into a turn 4 Professor X, hope to steal a lane that way, and then War Machine and Phil, or just win the other lanes with turn 6 tech like Shang-Chi or Shadow King. That's the basic gist of how the deck works. So now let's take a look at it card by card. Initially, I had Jean Grey in the deck. I really want Jean Grey to be good. I would love for that to happen one day. Tried out a couple games, actually did okay, but Jean Grey was clearly not great, because if you didn't see War Machine, you were just kind of in trouble. It was nice to be able to know where the opponent was playing things for your Shang-Chi and Shadow King at the end of the game, but general goal is not to let them do that at all on turn 6. So Psylocke comes into the deck instead. Very powerful because you've got a number of 4-drops you'd love to play on turn 3, and Psylocke enables that cleanly. Also, if you're just sitting on Professor X in hand, you can use Psylocke on turn 3 to be able to play Professor X on turn 4. So usually you're playing Psylocke on 2 or 3, depending on whether you're trying to get to a 4 or a 5-drop. Has some other use cases, but for the most part, that's what we're doing with Psylocke. Then you have Shadow King. In this meta, Strange Supreme, movers like Move Bounce. There's lots of things that are getting big from Shadow King that Shadow King can answer. So that's why it's here. It's good in a lockdown style where maybe you're taking one lane away, but you need a way to answer the other. And this is one of the cards that does that. Killmonger. I've played Killmonger in pretty much every deck since Thanos has become meta again. It's so good against the stones. It's good against demons. Demons from the hood are everywhere. And then if we're seeing more destroy because of Elixir, it can also obviously take out Deadpools and Human Torches and whatever it is. There's plenty of targets for Killmonger right now. Negasonic. Generally, we're not usually going to have priority in this deck, but Negasonic has actually surprised me in a lockdown style, because if you just play it proactively on turn 3 or 4 or whatever it is, it's just easier to tell, oh, my opponent's probably not going to play their giant card here. That means Shang-Chi is going to go on a different lane, or Shadow King on a different lane. So it's been good in that respect. And sometimes it's nice to just put it under, a storm lane when you have priority, and easier to win that storm lane in that sense. Then you got Makari. I just love having it for those easy priority wins, for dropping it down into a storm lane for free. Just extra power, which is good in lockdown. Luna's generally here to ramp into Professor X on turn 4, and usually on top of Luna, because that's a lot of power. You're gonna immediately get an 8 power in that lane, plus it protects the Ice Cube from not being destroyed, which, having 7 energy to work with on turn 6, very good in this deck, because you can play Shang-Chi plus Killmonger, or another 4 and 3 combo, whatever you're looking at. So Luna, just very good, does its job, ramps you, and gives you the extra energy that you need later in the game, as well as enabling Professor X plays. Shang-Chi, we're a bit of a reactive deck whenever we're locking one lane. If we're getting our scam combo off, obviously this isn't as important, but it can clean up lanes whenever your opponent plays early 10 or plus drops. So sometimes it's good after you've done your combo to come back in with Shang-Chi and pick off something. Even locations that pump out the 10 power cards. Shang-Chi helps with that. It helps clean up Gamma Lab. Just very versatile. Everybody knows Shang-Chi, but it's important in this style of deck. Then you got Storm. You can Psylocke into Storm on turn 3 and really make things difficult for your opponent. If you're facing a lot of move decks, it's obviously not quite as good, because it's easy. They can move into it. They can move into Professor X lanes too. But ideally, you're able to Storm on 3 and War Machine Legion. And that's going to win you the game outright, unless they have some way to play Enchantress on your rogue. But Storm, that's why it's here. It's a lockdown deck. Enchantress, Thanos ongoing is everywhere. There's so many ongoing targets. Even if Affliction, which I saw quite a bit in these games, ends up becoming popular, Enchantress is good for taking out those Lukes. And like I said earlier, when you have Luna down, you can do Enchantress alongside Killmonger, which can really devastate Thanos. Then you have War Machine. Obviously, in this style of deck, it's enabling you to just ignore location restrictions. Storm, you don't have to play on Storm that turn. Sometimes you'll play Storm, they'll snap, they'll play Juggernaut, but you weren't playing there. You were playing War Machine elsewhere. So in this style of deck, it's what you need to be able to ignore all of the nonsense. And there's a lot of locations that just incidentally helps you out with, even if you're playing a more fair game plan without Storm or Professor X. Speaking of, here's Professor X. He's definitely a shell of his former self, but you can still scam lanes out with Professor X, especially once you're storming on one lane. Oftentimes, the opponent's going to play there, and that'll leave a lane open for you to Professor X. Like I said before, it's really good with Luna into Professor X on turn 4. Creates a bigger lane, protects the Ice Cube, and you just have a higher chance of winning that lane early. Then you've got Legion. It's part of the Storm War Machine Legion combo that everybody knows. It's obviously not super consistent. It's 3 cards specifically in a order. You kind of need Psylocke for it to really be good, so you can play it early. However, Legion is just, as you might have seen played in Thanos decks, really good in this meta. There's tons of people playing Magic to try to go over the top of the Thanos decks, and Legion just shuts that down. There's so many other locations. You can just pump out a bunch of extra squirrels, extra 10 power cards, throw it down and have Sokovia happen 3 times and just discard your opponent's entire hand. Legion is just so versatile, so much fun, and can win you the game out of nowhere when you're least expecting it. And that's the whole deck. Back to Psylocke. So, I mentioned earlier in a previous video, but I'm trying to hit 500 subscribers. You guys have been awesome. Already back up to 436. I think I was at the low 400s when I started that video. So if you can, I would love, like I said, to do a Gold Pass giveaway. So anybody who is commenting or subscribing to the channel is helping out with that. So if you can, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. I've got more videos coming, fun off meta decks. And without any further ado, let's get into the gameplay. Okay, they took Storm. Wouldn't mind if they used it. Iron Patriot gives us something to do on 2, which is nice. Maybe we can steal the right location here. If they get Makari, they're going to get a nice big Makari for free. They did not, which means they have our Luna. Okay. Very nice turn out there on Death's Domain. So, what do we want to do? Guess we're just Lunaing over here. We should get the blob discount. Is this snappable? What do we think they're playing? Just like a Victoria hand kind of shell, probably. I think we'll snap. If we get ahead enough in priority here, we could even consider legioning the Death's Domain. Or we just War Machine. So they have Storm, that's right. They have my Storm, so they can storm Death's Domain. So if we Legion now, or sorry, guess we'd want a War Machine now. I think we want War Machine. Moon Girl. Okay. Do we just Legion? We know they have Storm. There's the Luna. Okay. So this one should be one. They're probably just going to retreat, I would think. Yeah. Thanos. So we built this deck to have some Thanos counters with Killmonger, Enchantress. See how it plays out. Want Jean or Luna? Kind of like Luna here. Next turn, I'd like to storm New York. And the reason I want to storm New York is because then on turn 5, nobody can play into the storm lane. There is Legion. I don't think we're going to be able to storm Legion here effectively. We would have to storm Avengers Compound. Okay, and there's the Thanos. The idea being hopefully we draw Killmonger. Okay, there's Killmonger to clean up these stones later. We might even want to just clean up the stones now. So then we can Shang Thanos. We can't Shang Thanos, unfortunately. If we Killmonger, Negasonic. Let's see. Okay. Actually, that might help us. It'll allow us to Shang Thanos. Okay. So they can't play here because Negasonic would take it out. So, I mean, we just Shang-Chi. Shadow King. Yeah. Spectrum almost made it scary, but we got there. Luna. What do we got here? Galactus? Destroy? What are we playing? I suppose we'll just Storm, so they can't take advantage of the Raft next turn. Killmonger's very nice. So since they have priority, War Machine will be safe here from Rogue or Enchantress. And then Shadow King. Ah, I should have Shadow Kinged here. That's okay. We still have Killmonger. Okay, let's go. Oh, I forgot we cloning vets, so that's fine anyway. So play here to avoid Alioth or Cosmo or whatever. Killmonger, Shadow King. And then we'll get a Makari drop too. What's this? Ironheart? Gambit. Okay. Okay. Let's see where Makari goes. Shouldn't matter anyway. Okay. Okay, 16 cards means Agamotto. Haven't seen an Agamotto out in a little bit. Of course. Shongable. Okay, we're probably not contesting that. Do we want to just Psylocke? Okay. War Machine. Pass. This Marvel's interesting. It's just in the deck. Just Enchantress this turn. Galacta, Phoenix Force, Iron Patriot, Miss Marvel. Agamotto, what a weird. So we could be trying to boost all these. Okay. Just got it with the Shang. Okay, so don't take Shang-Chi. Don't take Enchantress. You could take Storm or War Machine. Surfer. Gonna make things challenging. Alright, Makari. You can go there if you'd like. Well, okay, don't hate Lunang here. Clog them up a little. Alright, Shadow King's enough to snap. We have the Enchantress for Captain Carter. We have the War Machine to get into Flooded. Does Legion ever win here? I think they're waiting till turn 6 to do the crazy stuff. We'll see. They play Brood Surfer, they win. Oh, I totally forgot we had an extra turn. Alright, Ted Pro, what you got? Not a Thanos deck. Possibly Clog. Possibly some kind of misery test for Elixir. Seems likely. Well, that's good for us. Sure, they got something going here now. Quake. It would be crazy. Okay. I think I'd like to just storm this away in case they were trying some kind of move shenanigan. Demon. Okay. Gonna go for a Profex play. See, we got the Killmonger. Luna? I think we want to do it in this order because if they're left with only one card here, we want to add the Luna's Ice Cube to take away the +5. They could just play Null. But we know they have another demon in hand, so it's got to be Killmonger, I think. Sage. Okay. It's enough. Good game. So that's the deck. Not a world beater, but it's fun. I love playing some Lockdown. If you like this style of deck, give it a shot. I think it's really pulling its weight. It's good against Thanos, it's good against Silver Surfer, and that's kind of what I was targeting with this style of deck. Of course, it has some rough matchups. Scream is not a cakewalk. Move is not really that great because they're able to get around some of your restrictions, but it's a good time. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. I've got an Elixir deck or two, we'll see, coming after release. And in the meantime, you guys have been awesome. Thanks for watching. Later.